to all of you. Mike Cavalli here on the Mediumship Show on this Sunday. So, and before we get started on connecting with our loved ones in spirit, we'll wait for a few people to pop in. It gives me an opportunity to tell you what's been going on. First of all, this Wednesday, if you're in the Vienna area in Austria, Sissy is our medium. It's actually a divine service, and we do this in pretty much the same format as the spiritualist churches. It'd be great if you're in the area to turn up, because it's not just about the evidential mediumship. It's the getting together after, where we have drinks and snacks, and we all get together and have a chat. And it's really nice because in this environment there's no judgment, which is so important today. People feel free when they come to our evenings, that they are not going to be judged. They can speak freely, and this is something that's so important. Yes, Colin Walker's book, The A to Z Index of Spiritualism. So if you fancy taking a look at that book, you can find Colin at ethericweb.com. Or if you can't remember that name, just send me a message via Facebook, and I'll get it over there to you. Colin, we had a conversation with him a few weeks ago now about the truth about karma, I guess, and we got involved in all kinds of other things as well. So he's a great medium, great evidential medium. And he served us at one of our divine services also. We're a bit delayed with the channeled message Jeanne was giving us. Are we living in a simulation? It's a fascinating subject, which I don't really want to go into right now, obviously, because it'll spoil it for everyone. So that's what's kind of been happening. We've also last year for All Souls, we were about to do a channeled message, and Elizabeth, who reads the channeled message, was ill, and so we couldn't get the audio version out, and it was sent via text. So we're going to do it this year also for Halloween and All Souls, or All Saints. But I want to just run over a couple of bits here from the text, just to give you a little bit of a clue about what's been going on here with the inversion in this world. It's always an inversion, always an inversion. So skipping through most of it, this is what she had to say. The ritual inverts truth and joy. The ritual she's talking about is the Halloween so-called celebrations. We see the face of clowns, were traditionally a symbol of fun and laughter, turned into faces of horror and fear. Children dressed up as witches, another inversion, as she's quite rightly says, because witches are wise women, as they should rightly be called. Are given dark costumes to wear, frightening skin complexions, exaggerated body parts, and for centuries have been promoted as evil or bad. The same with spirit. We've seen the joy of the presence of spirit inverted into a ghostly and creepy apparitions. That was the first part of it, of what she had to say. The second part here, I want to just carry on reading. From here, the darkness harnesses the energy of the collected families celebrating. The people will have their vibration lowered. Vibration doesn't care if you know it or not. It simply matches your vibration. So yes, you may find it fun. It is not actually. You carry around with you the dark energy, but you should eventually shake this off by all the good and loving contributions that you make. So what I would say is, when you're approaching Halloween, I would, if I was a parent, skip the Halloween stuff. this dressing up like ghouls and zombies, and so it is an inversion, because we have All Souls on the 1st of November, and this can be bittersweet for some people. That's true. You may have just lost someone, and yes, it can be painful, but it's a much nicer way of celebrating life, actually, instead of celebrating, or which is what they're doing with the ghouls and all the cranky costumes that everyone's wearing. How about on All Souls getting together in someone's home, having fond memories of loved ones that were recently passed, or been passed a while, just sharing nice thoughts, have a nice buffet, have all the kids round, let them play games. This is a much better way of doing things. It really is not a good idea to be going around trick or treating. Now, I'm not a killjoy. I'm just talking to you, firstly from what Jeanne says, and secondly from a vibrational point of view. You see, everything that is pretty much on the earth plane is an inversion of truth. Halloween is an inversion of 31st, is an inversion of the 1st, and so on and so forth. So it does give you a bit of time to make other arrangements for Halloween, is what I would say. Just moving on to the point about, are we living in a simulation? I'll give you a little heads up here. The question is, are we living in a simulation? And the answer is yes, but not in the way that you think. We are completely in control of our lives. We are not controlled by a games master, and we are just code that's been played with, like some people like to believe, especially the scientists, this new thought that's going around there, that we are some kind of code in a simulated game. No, that isn't the case. The divine doesn't play tricks. He's not a games master either. So you can all rest assured, once you listen to this channeled message, that we are not a piece of code, and electronic circuits. We have emotions, we have feelings, we have a soul, and so on and so forth. And we live our lives how we wish to live it, actually, within reason. There's free will. I'm just going to go on a little bit. There's a few people coming in now. There is free will to a degree. Now, this business of life contracts, I mean, it's a very, very loose term, life contracts. I only know one near-death experience where a lady was actually shown the contract in paper that she agreed to do when she came to the earth plane. I can only think that this was the best way that the light workers or guides could present something to her into a way that she could understand, because my understanding is there's no pieces of paper and a signature and a rubber stamp to say that you agree with this. My experience is that it doesn't work like that. So, but there is, however you wish to call it, an agreement made of certain things that you want to do. Now, when you choose to come to the earth plane, or that fragment of the soul chooses to enter into a body that can survive on the earth plane, the person can generally choose if they want to be male or female. They can choose the colour of their hair, the colour of their eyes, etc., etc., all within reason. There are certain things that they can't do if the agreement is made for them to do a job on the earth plane, and they have to pretty much stick with that. Although once people get on the earth plane, don't they, they all tend to go wayward. Some people, let's put it like that. Maybe that is the plan for some people, to go wayward for whatever reason. So I think in terms of coming to the earth plane, And many people ask me this question, and I say to them, look, just live your life as best you can, and your life plan will open before you. I wouldn't worry too much about what goes on in the spirit world, because we're fundamentally here on the earth plane. We got to live, we got to exist here on the earth plane, and I think if we're focusing too much on what is said, how it all works on the earth, in the spirit world, then we get distractions. We just tend to forget our journey, our path here on the earth plane. So I'm going to start feeling now spirit is beginning to come through. I just want them to come through a little bit closer. In the meantime, if you've got any questions you want to ask me while they're coming through, please do just text in. Even if you just want to say hello, just text in with hello. That'll be fine. Okay, let's see. I think they're telling me to keep quiet for the next while, so that I can now bring in people from spirit. Okay, so I do have a gentleman here in spirit, and well, I've got two now actually. I'm going to give them to you both. The first person I've got in spirit seems to be somebody that comes from Africa rather than the Caribbean. So he's got more of African features, and he's got a lovely big face with a big grin, a massive grin, and he's just smiling, and that's all he wants to do, because this is all that he did while he was on the earth plane. He had a big smile permanently on the earth plane, and he comes through. He also had trouble with his legs, he's showing me, because he moves his legs and he puts his hands under his legs and lifts his legs to move them. So I think towards the end he might have had mobility problems, but he's certainly here, and he shows me that he loved his home, the family life. He really enjoyed this, and that was his kingdom. The family was his kingdom, and he went to work, of course, like everyone else, but he come home, and he really didn't want to do much else except stay in the family home. I don't see him really having much of a social life outside of work, but I mean, he had some friends, and he may have had, thank you, he had a little drink with them. But he was always home for his meal, and once he was in, unless there was special occasions. So there's this guy here. Let's see who else we got. Oh, we got another person coming, and actually they're pushing the other guy to the side for the minute, because I've got a lady who's stepping in right now, and she certainly gives me a pain all the way down here, and I've got a blockage just where the rib cage ends. You know, this point here, just by the solar plexus. So there was a block there. I think there was some kind of lump there, which made it very difficult for her to breathe. She hunches over slightly as well, and I think this is because it was more comfortable when she leaned over in this way. For some reason, it prevented, she couldn't feel this lump that was in there, so she would hunch over. She seems to have passed a few years by now. I get a name, something beginning with Alessia, or certainly with an A. I'm not sure if I quite got that name right. And I'm also given the month of February, and I get around the 15th. So she's popped in here as well. Let's see who else comes through. We've got, okay, I've got the gentleman that comes through. He doesn't seem at all to have been in the spirit world very long, actually. He feels, I don't think he was 50. He's certainly not showing me any older than 50. And he steps through. I think he hasn't passed long from what he shows me, but he seems to be an old hand at this. So I'm not sure if he is an old soul, which is something we should talk about actually, old souls, because Jeanne was always telling me there is no such thing as an old soul. Souls always were, and will be, or was, are, and will be. It's the earthly body that it enters is either a young conception, because once that soul enters the body and it has that information, when that body dies, and certain amount of that consciousness goes back, and then if another incarnation is required, then that all goes back into the next body also. It's quite complex. But anyway, so this person is here, and I also get a lump here, and it's all over here and up here, and I feel like I want to be sick actually, because I couldn't keep my food down towards the end, and so I feel I had this degenerative disorder, and then yes, I kind of passed away. The passing was pretty quick, and yeah, kind of felt surprised that he made it over the other side actually so quickly. But as he'll tell you, the last breath on this earth plane and the first breath on the next other side is all it takes. So these are the three people that we got here at the moment. I see a few people have dropped off, so they probably missed their connection. I see who else is coming through now. Okay. Along with this guy from the Caribbean, a lady steps in, and she looks much younger than him. Now, I don't feel this is his wife. I feel this is certainly a relation of some sort, and she's got a biggish face as well, but she has a centre parting in her hair, and all her hair is braided. She shows me it's all braided, and it's long, but she got it bunched up in the back, and it's in a bun, but then she lets the ends of the hair down, and you can see, so the hair is here in a bun, and it comes down, and it's all braided. Quite a beautiful lady, and she only shows me her face. I think she was quite heavy set as well, but and I think this, it might be brother and sister. I'm not sure. So I don't think this is wife, but I do get the name Godfather that comes in with this, and I also get a name beginning with C, and I find myself doing this with my hand, and I never do this with my hand. So I think when he spoke, he used to do this with his hand. So okay, before we go on and find anyone else in spirit, I've been asked to talk about that another inversion, if you like, that's on Mother Earth, is this word death. It is such a dark word. It's an inversion because it puts fear into people, and we see and hear many people who fear dying, understandably. But you know, this is the inversion. It's had it drummed into us, you know, from school. Your mum and dad talk about it. Their parents talk about it, and it goes back generation after generation after generation. And this fear energy builds up, and we bring it all the way through with us. Now, no doubt, it's a very, very sad thing when you lose somebody. But we should change the definition, and I advise people to consciously change the definition to transition or transcend in the body. Doesn't that feel much better? Instead of saying he died or she died, he transcended. um, because it cuts out that whole feeling of dying, of being dead, because we're not. It's absolutely a falsehood, this word dying. We just leave the earthly body. You know, in autumn, the leaves fall down and people assume that they're dead, but they're not. They're giving life to the soil that they all lie on, and it continues to work, it continues to nurture. All it's done is falling off of the branches, but it still exists, it continues to exist, as we do. So I would say to people, just consider um, getting into the habit of avoiding that word. Even passed away is a sort of little derivative of dying. Transcending, transition, something like that, or even going home, something much lighter, something of a much higher vibration, something that's more in truth with what we are actually doing. Because also I'd like to point out now, whilst we can never try and make parallel time in the spirit world and time on the earth plane, because in the spirit world, past, present, and future run simultaneously. Obviously, here on the earth plane, we don't run simultaneously. Everything is pretty much in the moment. We are in the present, and then it's gone. We're in the past, waiting for the future, and then we're in the present. That's gone. The present is now in the past, and we're heading for the future. But in the spirit world, it all aligns perfectly, past, present, and future. So it's very difficult to say, oh, in the spirit world, 1 year equals, I don't know, 1 day on the earth plane. I think that is the nearest we can get, is that 1 day on the earth plane is about a year in the spirit world. And that is being very, very loose, because it isn't like that at all. But in terms of feeling, this is why your loved ones are not really saying they miss you. Of course, when they come through and make a connection, they do say, I miss you. That's for our benefit, not for theirs, because actually it's, you know, each case is individual. Maybe there are some that have still got that earthly feeling about them, as they maybe just passed over and they're still hanging on to that feeling. But this is why they don't really miss us, because 1 year over here is about a day in the spirit world. So, you know, you can imagine if you lost your partner 10 years, 15 years, we're looking at approximately 2 weeks. So it's like they know you're going to be here pretty soon. So they don't worry, as it were. When they say they miss you, it's my experience generally that they say this because that's what they would say to you when you was on the earth plane, or that's what they're saying to comfort you. I've got someone here in spirit now. As you can see, my voice is changing. So when this person was in the spirit world, they had a voice pretty much like mine. It was a bit groggy, and it was a bit tired, and it was a bit heavy. So I think this person might have been a smoker, might not have been a smoker, but as you can see, I have a lot of trouble speaking right now. I feel this is a male person that I've got with me here, and I'm getting palpitations in the heart. My heart's beginning to go boom, 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 boom. And this person wants to come through and make themselves known. So if you're watching this in the replay, you can please text me, message me, and perhaps let the people know who this is. This person here is somebody. I feel this is someone's father, and I feel it's for a daughter. And about 2 years this person has passed, and the reason this person comes through, Oh, just got to tell, I'm getting everything here. Heart down here by the liver, everything. So I think all in all, everything was beginning to close down with this person here. So um, perhaps they was in hospice or home care where they saw their last days. Um, I don't think this person passed alone. Actually, I think there were people around. Maybe the daughter was there, which is why he wants to come through. Um, anyway, he wants to bring a message. Yes, of course, he wants this person to know to say thank you for everything that you did for this person, but it's more than that. This person is around you and wants you to know that um, not only he but other people are comforting you and asks you to consider now uh, letting go of those feelings. There was nothing more that you could do. Uh, okay. He wants to give me the year 1972, and I think I get the month of July stepping in with this. So July and 72 seems to be significant with this person who it's for. It's not for the gentleman. I don't think he's talking about 1972. It's for the daughter. I think it's a daughter. I don't think it's a niece or anything. It really feels strong connection to a daughter. Okay, another person stepping in now. I hope when we get the replay, people text in and tell me who these people are. So we got a guy here. And he only shows me his back, and he's playing the guitar and he's on stage, but he's playing left-handed. So most people would play this way, he's playing this way, and it is an electric guitar, and he is out there. I can only see him, so I don't know if he's in a band, but if he is, I can't see the rest of them. They're just showing me him from behind, and he is a musician, and I feel his passing was an accident. It could have been self-inflicted as well, but nonetheless, it was an accident of some description. This person also sings. He won't show me his face. He keeps me behind him on this, which looks like a stage. So he wants to come through, and I think this is for a brother or a sister, something like this. That kind of connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to recap on all the people that I've had here so far, and that is, first of all, I had a man that looks like he was from Africa rather than the Caribbean. He was a big guy, had a big chubby face, and he had this wonderful big smile. And he sits in a chair, and I feel he had some trouble with his legs. He passed, he lived a good life, although his face looks quite young. With him comes a lady, which I don't think is his wife, but certainly a family member, and she has her hair centre parting and braided. It's completely braided with a bow at the back or a bun at the back, and then the braids continue out. She steps in. There was a lady that came in as well, and she had a lump just here, and in order to ease the pain, she would just lean forward just a little bit, and that would ease the pain. And I get this a lot of guitar, and I get a lot of blockage here, so this was a problem. She also gives me palpitations. I don't know if it was the last person who had the palpitations, but she certainly gives me palpitations right now. So let's see, who else did we have coming through? Oh yes, we had a youngish man come through as well. He didn't seem to make old bones at all. He was round about the age of 50. Sorry, I'm missing all these messages here. Let's see. Where do I text? I think you should be able to text on YouTube, where you are texting actually. Um, yeah, so just text where you're texting, and you should get through to me. Um, hang on. Hello. Okay. Hypnotherapy near me. Hello. Okay. So, yes, where was I? So this youngish man steps in. As I say, I don't think he reached more than 50. And uh, yeah, I've got this problem here, and I've got it all round the back, and it's all here, and I've trouble breathing, and I feel also that I needed nutrients because I couldn't eat. So there was some kind of degenerative thing here going on with this guy. He just wants to make himself known to somebody here who may pick this up in the replay. I did have someone else who came through, but I can't remember for the life of me who it is. They pop in and out so quick. If I can just remember who the last person was, or if someone can remind me who the last person was. Yes, the musician. The musician. He only shows me his back, and he plays the guitar left-handed, so it's this way rather than this way. And I feel that this passing was an accident. Feels like it was of his own making. And again, I've got all this trouble here, and I feel this is for a brother or a sister. Now there was somebody that stepped in that was for a daughter, and I remember I got 1972 for the daughter. Yes, it was a gentleman that I feel that he passed away in either in a hospice or he stayed at home with home care. But it was that kind of passing, and he wanted the lady to, the daughter certainly wanted the daughter to know that he was thankful, and she'd done everything she could, and she should begin to move on in her life, and not dwell on this too much, because he's now in a safe place, and he's happy. You know, for those who've just joined, often when they say they miss you, it's for our benefit and not theirs. Hang on, let's have a look who's here. If I can put that up. Mambo, hi mate, first time here. Thanks for the opportunity. What message? Anybody live or dead for me? Okay. Well, again, as my shaman friend would say, who do you want? Okay. So let's see who comes through for you, Mambo. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. I get a lot of dancing. I know your name's Mambo, but I do get a lot of dancing from people in spirit, and I think these people were actually healers. They were people that were all really quite advanced healers, and they would do a lot of healing through sound and voice and movement. I think these are ancestral. Maybe you know about these, maybe not, maybe this is the first time, but they come through very strong, and I think you come from a generation or a family line of healers. Okay. Let's see what else they want to say. Okay. Well, they don't actually say too much about, but they would like you to go along this path of doing some more spiritual work, actually, more in line with healing, because you have a good connection with the spirit world. I don't know if someone's told you that before, but you do have a good connection with the spirit world. I'm also being told, I've been shown a railway line, so at some point you're going to be doing some travelling by train. Let's have a look, because I want someone from the spirit world really to step forward who's quite personal to you, and see what they have to say. Okay, more to do actually with Okay, it feels like there's a father figure that's around here. I say a father figure. I can't be sure if it is a father yet, but there's a father figure that's stepping up. It could be a mentor, if you like, and this person is encouraging you to write this book or finish this book, or whatever it is that you're writing, it needs to be finished, because you will benefit from this. Okay. Uh, yeah, I just want to get a bit more for this job. This is a very private person, and because of this, he won't step forward so much as for me to get to know his personality. So when you might know this person as someone very private when he was on the earth plane. I also get the number 86. Now this isn't him, this is someone else. This could be the 8th of the 6th. Now if you're in the States, it would be the 6th of the 8th. So somewhere around there he wants to bring this in, and he also talks about an anniversary that's popping up towards the end of the month and at the beginning or the first 2 weeks of November. So I think this is a passing anniversary rather than a celebration of a birthday. So, okay. Also, this might be for someone else because we do get the odd gate crasher. There's somebody here with the initial D. I think it's David or David, something like this. This person's popped in and just wants to be known for whoever this is. They may catch it in the replay. So that's what I have for you at the moment, Mambo. I'll see if anything else comes through for you. Okay, yeah. So just hang on. I'll move on and I'll see who's coming through also now. I do have again someone else that comes through in the spirit world, and when they pass, I think they certainly had blood pressure issues, because I start to get hot and I start to get bothered, and for me this is always a sign of blood pressure issues, or certainly something going on in and around the head. I don't feel this was a tumour or a cancer or an aneurysm or anything like that. There might be migraines going on, but there was problems around the head and there was blood pressure issues. Okay, thank you very much. You are most welcome. So we got the blood pressure issues. This person, they come together. A man and a woman come together, and so I feel that the passing with the man and the woman wasn't too far away in time. We're not looking 10 years or 15 years. I think it was something around about 2 to 3 years, maybe even sooner when they passed. Could have even been months. It seems that this couple were joined at the hip, actually, and did everything together. So I'm a bit confused as to whether it's the lady or the man that has the blood pressure issue, but I'm shown it's the man, because the lady used to look after this person all the time. I wonder if they're my parents. Well, I'll give you some more information here and see if you can identify them. So one of them had the blood pressure. The lady here was a very caring lady, and I feel that was devoted to the man. She had her own life, of course she did, but I think the world evolved around looking after, making sure this man, who the only word I can say is she was devoted to. Now I feel he obviously loved her, but I don't think devoted is the word I could use for him. Let's see. Okay. So she kind of still tends to him now, and he quite likes the attention that he gets from her, and he gives a little smile, and you know that little smile with a little wink in the eye, so to speak. This is what he gives me. Um, I don't know. I hear music around him, and I had somebody earlier who played the piano accordion, and that piano accordion's coming, or a physharmonica. I don't think it is for him. It might have been for one of the other people. Um, but let's see. My father had died with a stroke. He had a very high blood pressure. He died 3 years after her. Ah, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, it really felt like it was a short distance, and it also feels like when. Hang on. Let's see. Uh, he died 3 years after her. Okay, so he died 3 years after her. I think when the first part, when she died, part of him died also. As I said, because I think they'd done quite a lot of things together. She seemed to be very quiet in the house, but you know, when she did have time with a few friends, she could raise her voice a little bit and be a little bit more jolly. Um, I think she was a underestimated is the word I give. I think she was quite intelligent in a simple way, not an academic way, but she was quite intelligent and she knew how to negotiate her way through hoops with the national health and God knows what else. So in that respect, she was really strong. He was also very good at doing paperwork and stuff like this. So they had their own little departments, but I feel that she knew how to read people a lot better and was able to get things done. I get a pain here, a problem with my throat. So I feel one of these people had a problem with her throat. Your father died with a stroke, so maybe your mother had problems here. But I feel that your mother uh, really wanted to uh, go. And who was it that wasn't taking their medication? I think it was your father. Wasn't properly taking his medication because I feel that he was ready to go. Um, I get somebody, I get the number 83, so either him or a grandfather figure has popped in as well. But somebody around your family lived to a ripe old age, as we say, made old bones. So see if around that sort of age, if somebody popped in, died rather, around about 83 years of age. Because I know I've got an older gentleman here as well now that steps in, so it could be his father that come in. And this particular man was small in stature. I'm trying to describe your father, but he doesn't seem to want to be too bothered about that. It's more easy to describe your mother. Your mother towards the end seemed to be a lot thinner, but in the earlier parts of her life, she was. I wouldn't say she was heavy set, but she had a little bit more weight on her. But towards the end, she really got a lot thinner. I don't think she could eat so well either. And so she began to lose weight a little bit. Oops, there's a few more messages coming in there, excuse me. She died of cancer, breast that passed after the, okay. They died very young, 51 and 54. Blimey. Well, there is somebody that's stepping in that's about 83. Like I said, this person, probably a grandfather. But I might be getting confused because I don't know if he was with us earlier. I said there was somebody here that didn't make old bones that died at about 50. So that could have been that person. So yeah, but the lady wasn't. Oh, the lady stepped in after. I think it gets very very confusing. Um, so okay, so I think that person that I said died around about 50 was the person, was your father, and the lady that came in just before when I felt it all here was your mother. Now they come in together. I wonder if you can take the month of July with any one of these two. The month of July seems to be quite important around this, and music seems to be quite important. I don't mean pop music as such, but there was certainly some music that they enjoyed. Um, it's very strange because I feel it's almost like they're playing old um, gramophone records. So it, they might have liked Irving Berlin or some this type of music that goes back many years. The gramophone thing I think is symbolic. Um, so there's a music element around these two as well. So they could have probably sat and listened to music quite a bit. Um, let's see, they're very young, 51, 54. My father died in September and mother in February. Okay, look, hang on to July because July did come through. It might have been a birthday. It might have been somebody you know who has a birthday or something like this. But July, he seems to want to get across the month of July. So I don't think it's June. It's definitely looks like July. Um, uh, they love the Beatles. Bloody hell! You know what? Um, Earlier today, while I was meditating, I got the Beatles song "A Taste of Honey," and I just dismissed it. Your father was always listening to music. So, was your father also a musician? Because this guy that I saw earlier, they only show I can only see him from the back, and he was playing the guitar, and he was definitely on stage, and it was an electric guitar. That might be someone else, but it could be the same person. That if he liked music, he played a bit of music. Um, but there you are. Yeah, your father was always listening to music. There's definitely an element of music around him. I think there was music around your mother as well. She might not have shown it, but I think she enjoyed listening to a bit of music. Maybe more of a Radio 2 type of music. If you're from the UK, it's a very BBC Radio 2 is a very family orientated radio program. But anyway, yeah. So she was definitely the quieter one of the two, but she had her moments as well. Um, so they're back together again. I also get the initial D around these two. Um, so it might not be their name, it's somebody around them, the initial D. I can't quite get the name, it comes in so quick sometimes. But I'd like you to take the initial D, and I would like you to take the month of July. And when you do discover what it is in July, if you could just put a text in the chat box there, it will run. It will still be able to make comments when it's the show's over. Let's have a look. No, he loved it, but never played. Early years, he played guitar. Still have his guitar, but not as a professional. No, maybe not a professional, but okay. Um, but he, yeah, okay. David or Daniel, okay. Your brothers, oh, bless them. Okay, so when he mentions the D, there's something that I feel he just wants you to tell your brothers that you've made communication with him. Nothing untoward going on with your brothers. Um, yeah, it's just a simple thing here that he would like you to pass on a message. Um, since we're with you, we may as well stay with you, eh? Let's see what else we can come up with. Uh, well, um, it's all gone a little bit quiet back there, so I don't want to make it up. But if you have a question you want to ask, then please pop it in. But don't feed the medium, as they say. And I'll just see what else? What else is coming up? Okay, look, he made me do this with my hands, a little clap. So he claps, he applauds you for something that's going on around you, and that you're doing something you're achieving, something that you've achieved, and he never doubted you when he was on the earth plane, um, and it just seems to me that. Perhaps you could have had a little bit more encouragement, but now it seems that you're pretty strong and you're self-assured, and I think that's what he's applauding you with. Um, so just take that applause that he gives you and brings it with you. Now, okay, he's asking me if you can feel him. Firstly, around the knees, where it's a little bit colder, but soon I feel that you're gonna feel him on your spine. They often do this, put a coldish feeling on the spine, and that he's drawing close to you. Excuse me. I wonder if he burped a lot, or is that your mother that burped a lot? Because I'm getting the burps, and I've got a bit of indigestion up here. Um, So yeah, I've lost track again where I was. Maybe you could answer. I just want to ask them if they are fine. I took care of much of my younger brothers when they passed. Maybe the claps are for that. Yes, I feel that the claps are for that, and yes, they're absolutely fine. There is no adverse feeling that I you know, you said they like the Beatles. Maybe this was one of his favourite songs. Every single day of my life, I took a ride. I was alone. I didn't know what I could find there. That song. That's just what he's given me, and I think the words are significant because the hook line is every single day of my life. I think it is, or every single day of the year. Um, Before he passed with a stroke, he had indigestion. We didn't know he was having a stroke. Ah, okay. Yeah. God bless him. Um, well, the time, I think the timing was the time for your father. I know that's difficult to to hear and to accept, but I feel that was his time, and it is time for you to move on. It's time for you to now put yourself really first and start to achieve, thank you, and live up to the ability that you have, because you have this amazing ability, he says. Um, I think it's communication. I think you're a good communicator with people, um, and you should start to use this more in your everyday life. Um, but he's fine. They're fine. Again, Mum just sort of stands there watching. She is always watching over you, but she also steps back. She doesn't want to interfere so much. She just lets you get on with it. But know that if you do fall, she catches you. Okay, but I think those days have gone now. But yes, absolutely fine. Breathing is fine. Uh, everything over the other side is just, well, he says, not how I imagined. It's beyond how he imagined, and he does tell me initially when he went over everything. He says it was wild. It was wild. Um, um, I think by this expression he means that wow, he couldn't believe what was going on. So it was like a thank you. I'll give it. He said it was like a wild trip. Um, I think you might know what that means, but that's the words he used. It was like a wild trip, and then very, very quickly settled down, got everything into place, and he sees everything as it is now. Um, so, yeah, I think that's about all he's coming through with. Okay, I want to give you one more name. I don't think it's associated. I don't think it's their names, um, but I get the name that sounded like Gloria, or certainly Joya, something like this. Mama says, how do we get messages from people if they are reincarnated? Okay, so to understand this is to understand that only a fraction, a tiny fragment of the soul incarnates onto the earth plane. And not only the earth plane, other dimensions, parallel universes, fragments of the soul um, enter into a human body which has been chosen before they come to the earth plane. So, for example, there's a fragment of my soul enters into this body which is called Michael. There's another fragment of the soul, could be on the other side of the planet, could be on another planet, could be in another dimension, and that could be a female. So there could be many versions of me or you running around, because only a fragment of the soul comes to the earth plane, and that would explain why we can communicate with people who are, the soul is in the earth plane, but a fragment of them has entered the body and has reincarnated. That's the simplest way that I could actually put it for you. The spirit world is vast, and what we always say in this field of work is leave your logic at the door and collect it on the way out, because these are two different vibrations, two different, totally different understandings of existence. And I don't think we're getting closer as the veil between the two worlds separates. We're getting closer and closer and closer, but we're still quite a way off to the understanding of how the spirit world works. All we have really is the near-death experiences, of which there are thousands and thousands of, which you can watch on YouTube, and this will give you glimpses into the inside of the spirit world. So, well, look, we're just about out of time today. I'm going to be back next Sunday with me and my mate here, Jeanne. We're going to be here. So if you've got a question, then join me on Facebook, actually is best, and send me a text with a message, and then next week I'll read the question out and we can see where we can take it. Well, you know, I'd like to say thank you, Hypnotherapy, for Near Me. While you're there, if you want to give out a website address, and I'll put it up there before we go, since you've been such a good sport, I'm more than happy to help promote people while we're doing this. If you've got a website address, and Mumbo as well, if you've got a website address, now's the chance to put it in the text and I'll flash it up on the screen. Otherwise, we will call it a day, I think, as the energy is slowly beginning to drop. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, logic is only for solving a certain kind of problem. Yeah, and you've seen it many times before. There are some problems that, or answers that Google or ChatGPT just simply cannot answer, nor should they be answered. So, okay, that's about it, folks. I look forward to your company next Sunday as we get this show built up and built up. I'm going to introduce some mediums to assist me. Thank you also. And we will see where this takes us. Just to let you know, I used to do a show similar on Blog Talk Radio many years ago. That was radio. It was a live call-in. And then I'd stopped doing it for a while, and Jeanne gave me the call to start doing this again. So we're going to be doing this every Sunday. If you're a member of meetup.com, you can find me on Vienna Consciousness or London Consciousness. Yeah, James Cole, of course I remember you. Yeah, thanks for popping in. You popped in a bit too late, mate. I'm afraid we're just we're calling it a day today, but I'll be back next Sunday. James, if you've got a question, put it in the text or message me on Facebook, Société Jeanne d'Arc, and I'll answer it next week. And in the meantime, look, whatever you're doing, don't let anyone distract you from your job, from your mission. And remember, be gentle with yourself, because you will never speak to anyone more in the day than you do yourself. So this is me, Mike Cavalli, and Jeanne signing off. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye for now.